Welcome to Papa Junk Shop. Well, as long as I had all this stuff out, I thought I'd get started on it. Not sure how long this is going to take or how often I'm going to get to work on it right now, but I got started. I cut the crankshaft off, and I cut the counterweights off, and I'll be setting this up in the lathe and turning this section down so it fits this bearing. And what the plan is, it's still kind of warm, so that's going to go in there, and of course this goes in here about like so, and then there'll be a plate on here, and then this will mount there, and then on the back I'll create a shaft that comes out through here, and we'll use one of these on the back side. So I still got some planning on how I'm going to make the base and stuff for this, but going to get this much of her started, and as usual, go by the seat of the pants engineering. So keep you updated with some progress. Hopefully this Briggs crankshaft, I did this once too in Onan, and that crankshaft was miserably hard. I had an awful time turning it. This one didn't seem as bad. A file would actually file it, so I'm thinking this one might be a little easier to work with, but we'll find out shortly. Okay, I got this stub of the crankshaft in the lathe and got it all centered up. Put a center hole in the back so we got some support. Took a few cuts off, and this is not like the Onan one. This cut's pretty nice. The Onan one, the carbide cutters and stuff just squealed and the sparks flew. I was able to cut it, but boy, it was a real chore. Very little at a time. This one goes pretty good. On this interrupted cuts, I'm only going to go about 10 thousandths a pass probably, just so we don't do any damage to anything. But you get the idea of what I got to do, so we'll get that down and then get rid of this, and then we can turn this down so it fits that pillow block, and I'll leave a little shoulder here for the bearing to butt up against. So to get her done, I'll show you. Okay, I got her all smoothed out, and I measured the bearing. It's 1 inch, and this measures 1 inch 51 thousandths, so I got to take 51 thousandths off. So once I do that, I'll try to determine about where this is going to be, and then I'll probably turn this down for the pulley. I would guess probably to 5/8, because I have quite a few 5/8 pulleys, and this turns nicely. It turns like cast iron, I would think. So I should be able to put a keyway in this easily too. Now on the Onan it was so hard I had to just put a flat spot on it with a grinder. So this one's going to be easier to work with. Okay, got her turned down according to the caliper. We should be able to slide this on there. Yep, there we go. So now I'll turn this section down to 5/8, I think, because that's a pretty easy size for pulley selection. There, turning her down for the 5/8. That's about 80 thousandths cut, cutting really nice. Okay, I'm thinking this should be the last pass. Left my glasses in the house, so I got this digital micrometer so I can read it. 626. So I need to go another thousandth. I'm not sure if I want to try taking a thousandths off or not. Maybe I'll just run it over there one more time without turning any dials, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can just polish the rest of it out. But too many times you wind up taking too much off and you can't put it back on very easily. Run it down through there one more time and it measures 625.4. I went and got a 5/8 pulley. Yeah, that's on there nice. So I'm gonna face the end of that off and then get a keyway in it. Okay, I got the shaft in a V-block and I got it all centered. 3/16 cutter, used the DRO and used the paper method each side of it, and then centered it using the DRO. So should be all set to cut that keyway.
You wouldn't believe what I just seen.
Forgot to turn on the...
On. I swear to
Pick a very good spot for the camera because I'm in the way. So. Cutting like butter. So I'll go ahead and get that done, and this part of the shaft should be all done. Okay, got the keyway done. And there we go. Nice fit. I did the depth with the by the seat of your pants method. Cut a little bit and try it. Got lucky and it come out really good. So I think we're done with this part of it. Now we got to do some thinking for the next part. Okay, I got the adapter made for the fan side for this pillow block, and just real quick I set it up on some metal blocks, and I got a square here. I know this isn't precision, but I can turn that and both sides just barely touch. So I think I got her pretty good. So I'll pull this apart so you can see how I made this tailpiece. Maybe. Okay, what I wound up with was, let's see if I can get this surface here is pretty good size, and I assumed that it was machined. And this hole is a little bit bigger than the bolt that goes through, so we had a little bit of a ridge there. And what I wound up doing is putting a shoulder on here, which fits in the hole, and then this is turned flat. That drops in that hole, and then of course the pillow block goes on there, and then the through bolt drops down through there, and this is just a little shy of this, so there'll be a washer on here that will pinch the bearing onto this stub shaft that I made. When that's all clamped together, it should hold everything together. So next I got to figure out how to make the supports for the bearings. So that's the next agenda. So far so good. Okay, I got a piece of 1/4 inch plate. This was already this size, 8 by 8, and I laid out the dimensions to mount on the yeah, what do you call that thing, a stator? So these holes here are going to be for the pillow block. I looked at dimensions up for that, for mounting, and they're going to be 7/16 20 fine thread, so I need a 25/64 hole there, and then these 4 holes where the field windings go, stator, whatever it's called, are 11/32, and that was kind of a tight squeeze on here, so I might have to go one size bigger. I think I can use a letter drill to go up in really small increments. The next size is a letter drill. So, and the center hole is probably going to be about 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and get those drilled and tapped, and then we'll try to figure out what we're going to do about the back bearing. Okay, I got a center drill set up in the drill press, and I'm going to center drill each one of these spots that I center punched. That way I'll be sure to get a nice accurate hole. Okay, got the plate all drilled, holes tapped, stuck some bolts through it, and that's going to be so I can hold it in the Bridgeport vise, because this is bigger than the vise will open up, so that'll allow me to hold it to drill the 1 1/8 hole in the middle for the shaft. So that should hold that. And I got my pilot hole here, so I'll just get it centered. We're good there. Lock the tables. Squirt of cutting oil. So sharper in that center rail. I should have went ahead and drilled that first. I'll be back. We're going to have to sharpen that center rail. Okay, go in there. I'm not going to take them up tight, just a trial. Yeah, it worked out good. Okay, then this is going to drop onto here. It's back over here, right? Okay. So, someplace there's bolts here. I'll just stick 2 in it for now. Just finger tight. And then this is going to go. I don't have a bed plate made for it, but that'll mount somehow. Let's see. Okay. turn it around. Let me get this rag out all right. Hey, even like that it doesn't rub. Oop. I don't have the center bolt in it, but holy mackerel. I even impressed myself that time. Of course, then this is going to go back here, and we got to make the back mount for this bearing. Okay, coming along. Okay, I got a mock-up made of the rear bearing support. I got a piece of heavy angle iron down here. It's probably 1/4 inch thick. This is a thinner 1/8 inch piece. And I've got slots in this so I can move the bearing back and forth this way. And I'm going to drill and tap the heavy piece of angle iron. And I'm going to put a slot in this piece so it has a little bit of movement up and down, so I can adjust this rear bearing to get it to run nice and true. I got it clamped in place now, seems to spin nice. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll have to cut this off here so it comes even with this base. And then after that, I think maybe we can try it, because I don't even know if this thing works. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, but the guy said it did, but he said it run too. Okay, I got the pieces all made. The base is drilled. This is going to go like so. Come on, you can do it. There we go. So that's going to give me my movement up and down. And then these bolts will go down through into the 1/4 inch plate in the bottom. And then the slots in the pillow block will give me a little movement this way. So I'll go ahead and get that mounted. Okay, got her all mounted. Everything seems nice and solid. Spins nice. So next I think I'll get the bench cleaned up, and gonna get an electric motor and a couple pulleys and see if we can run it, see if it generates. It's gonna take me half an hour to pull all the stuff away I got out. See you in a bit. Okay, got her clamped down on the table. Motor, generator, some pulleys that are close to 2-to-1. This is a 1725, so this is 3600, so we got to have twice as big a pulley over here as we do here. And turn it on, you can see. Got 95 volts. Well, that's because this pulley setup isn't quite right, so looks like she's going to work. I still have to make another plate on here in order to mount the generator and give it some movement. And I got to come up with some shrouding and stuff yet, but overall it's a working machine. And I'm thinking that possibly I might take my diesel off my rock crusher and match up to this. That's 4 horsepower and this is 2000 watts, so they might make a good pair. So I guess we'll call this video done. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe. See you next time.
Bye.